So what do you want? Do you want to pick up groceries for Granny and collect animal pelts? Or do you actually want to play a video game and kill God? The answer should be painfully obvious already. JRPGs are better. Now, sure, Western RPGs do tend to have more personalization, but outside of Mount & Blade, I don't think they offer enough agency for me to personally feel like it's my own journey. Western RPG stories are terrible. Mass Effect has this whole story about this conduit thing, and the game makes this huge deal about it, like it's a really important plot device that you really need to care about. But when you realize what the conduit is, it's actually a complete and utter waste of time looking for it. Witcher 3 has you looking for Ciri, so instead of sailing around through all the islands actually looking for her, you decide to do a freaking pantomime so you can find this guy who knows information about this other guy, so that when you talk to this other guy who knows this guy, that has information about a guy who knows where Ciri is, but you have to do his laundry first before he lets you meet the guy who knows Ciri, who refuses to talk until you bury his dead grandma. This is why I hate Western RPG stories so much. They're just an excuse for you to play some random mercenary pottering around towns for money. You can argue all you want, but this is pretty much the case for nearly every Western RPG on planet Earth. Japanese RPGs, on the other hand, thrust you into some of the most surreal and interesting worlds you will ever see. Unlike their Western counterparts, JRPGs aren't shackled by Tolkien, Star Wars, Blade Runner, and real life. They can do whatever the fuck they want, and that means that the developers actually use their imagination and creativity to create some amazing shit, like Baton Kaitos, for example, where the world consists of floating islands, or Artanelico, where the entire world is connected by this huge tower. You never know what you're going to see in JRPGs, whereas with Western RPGs, it's always the same shit time and time again, which gets boring. On top of this, Western RPGs are severely lacking in the combat department. Most of them are just brain-dead button mashes with janky movement and evasive mechanics. Even after all these years, they still haven't evolved beyond this. Yet JRPGs have all kinds of unique battle systems that are constantly changing and evolving. Much like the world, the combat is also surreal and interesting. They actually put thought into how the games work mechanically, as opposed to just settling with the usual generic, half-assed, third-person shooter or action game combat that Western RPGs tend to opt for. Finally, and most importantly, which knobhead thought it was a good idea to shuffle tracks at random while traversing the game's world? Fire them immediately. They are psychopaths. Music should always be looped, and should always represent the location they are in. None of this fucking fading into atmospheric sound bullshit. I want the music to be constant. Not that it matters, because outside of Diablo 1, most Western RPG soundtracks suck anyway. Meanwhile, you have games like Valkyrie Profile 2 that have soundtracks that are absolutely fucking divine. They're so fucking good that they literally bring you to tears from how emotionally impactful the music is, and this gives each location its own personality and feel. JRPGs feel more like a deliberate art form where they are trying to get you to actually feel something, whereas Western RPGs are more like a sandbox that fail to be a sandbox. Aside from Mount & Blade, they are all failures. That's why JRPGs are the best.